Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host BKP, and the sun is shining in Blue Ridge. Well, it is right here at Circuit World Blue Ridge because we do not allow. Listen,
above the deck, it's shining.
Wait a minute, I got to make an announcement, Bruce. I might have to change the seating arrangement.
You might have to. You already did.
Well, you know, I'm worried you're going to go public with this Joe Biden touching I've been doing the last couple of years. Rick.
Got my Biden move down.
Sit over there.
I got nothing. Jeez.
So what's that saying to me? I got to sit on, you know,
I
what?
don't know.
What?
Well, you know, the social norms have changed. That's what Joe said. The social norms have changed.
And he doesn't know.
This is Bruce. I'm sorry, I had to go with that. This is Bruce. We'll be over here. Wave to the fans, Bruce. Rick, Jane, and I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. I'll tell you what, let's start with that right out of the box. I know Joe Biden in a way that, yes, I know he's from Delaware, and I know he rode the train, and I think since he's 29 years old, he's been a member of Congress. Yeah, I think since 29.
There's one problem.
You know, and the other thing with Joe, not getting into too far in the deep state, Joe's lived through some tragedy. Now, the reality is, regardless if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever you are, Joe has lived through tragedy in his life.
He lost a daughter in a car accident.
Absolutely.
Son died of brain cancer.
So he has experienced that. But we have known for how many years the joke, creepy Uncle Joe. But you know what? I kind of feel for him a little bit.
Not
you don't?
Not one.
That's my Jane.
Iota.
You don't?
Sorry to interrupt. I just couldn't let you.
I
know.
Well, no. All right. No.
I just couldn't let you go on with
No, I'm
that.
okay with that.
I'm just fuming over here.
Well, I guess it's. I do see. The bottom line is, it's not Republicans trying to take him out. It's other Democrats that are attacking him. They're trying to get him out of the race. These are operatives. I respect a woman that says, "Don't touch me," inappropriate. I respect a woman reporting inappropriate acts, but at the same time, then there's the operatives, and these people are being, you know, they're operatives trying to get him out of the race. What say you on that? You said you don't. One eye.
This is the same conversation I had with my husband last night. Oh, well, Joe, I said, stop. You go right now onto YouTube and you say Joe Biden touching children.
Yep.
He said, my gosh. There are many of them, and the children, the girls are going like this. His hand is all on their breasts. He's doing them like this. And when Jeff Sessions was getting sworn in, his granddaughter was there, and you'll see Biden going up to start to fondle his granddaughter, and Sessions goes and slaps his hand and takes his daughter and moves them. Everyone knows.
Okay.
And it's not that, oh, I'm touchy-feely. He's in my generation. Excuse me.
Jane, the problem is everybody doesn't know. You know because you've researched it.
Right.
I know because I've looked at it. What people are seeing and why they're feeling sorry for him, in my opinion, is they're only seeing this mainstream cut, you know, come up behind the lady and poor Joe. Let me tell you, do your homework and go deeper and deeper and look at what poor Joe's been doing since he was 29 and in Congress.
Oh,
he's a creep.
But the mainstream media, though, is like, you know, package this as, oh, this is just Joe being Joe. Everybody's had a good chuckle. I mean, they've been talking about that for 15 years.
They need to look at what his college roommate said. Have you read that one? I'm not going to say it, but look for Joe's college roommates' testimonies. Listen,
what did he say?
All know,
I didn't hear.
I can't say it on here.
Give me just a.
I'll tell you. But everyone knows we're 70, so I don't know if Joe Biden.
Everybody knows now.
77.
Well, we went.
Joe is 77.
I mean, we went on. We had that party. Everyone knew we were. Someone said it. We were lying though. So the thing about it is that he's saying back in my generation. No. I mean, no one came up to me and sniffed my hair. An older man would never come up and sniff my hair. That was not done back then. In fact, it was even more.
I've got a cold.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm a stiff-arm girl.
So,
he's a creep.
I'm a karate girl.
So you don't think that they're just these operatives are
of course
attacking
they are.
him to get him out of the
More
race?
power
That's a
to
different
them.
conversation, though.
Yeah, it is a different conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a different
They're
conversation.
using good old Joe stuff in a new angle.
But they do want to get him out of line. They want to get him out of there.
Yeah.
They're gonna implode.
So is that Bernie's group that's doing it, or DNC?
Well, there is accusations it is Bernie's group out there, but we don't know. He's denied it. So what I'm saying is, okay, so right now, the operatives that want him out of the way, I think it's to run cover for things like Ukraine and other things to keep some other news coming out.
Ukraine.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
I agree.
And that's criminal what you're talking about.
Prosecutor.
That goes to the White House.
Absolutely.
Obama's in on that.
Yep.
And Heinz ketchup guy, Jim Carrey. His son was on the board of that Ukraine
John
company.
Carrey.
John Carrey, yeah.
Jim Carrey's the.
Yeah.
I know. They're both creeps.
No, they're okay.
Today's the day of the creep.
That's a good word, creep.
Do we have a swamp monster?
But one of the things has been from the progressive is you have these tired old white males. So if you get Joe pushed to the side, but Bernie, another white guy, old male. And of course, he's not even a Democrat.
All right, I'm going to say this one more time. I want to say this one more time. I'm wondering if I knew this would happen. You don't.
Why are y'all laughing? I don't.
So you don't feel Joe's just affectionate?
No. He is a monster. He is a sexual predator. Let me just put it that way. I believe that sincerely.
I do too.
That you can read in books where the FBI, whoever guards these kind of guys. I mean, the women. When the women were in his home to guard him, whatever, and his wife wasn't home, he runs around naked. He swims naked,
swimming in front of the
female CIA or whoever guards them, FBI.
No, I'm waiting to hear from the college
That's
roommate.
it.
I don't know what he said.
Until you hear from the college roommate, you haven't made a decision.
You hear from the college roommate.
Okay, all right. So let's.
Okay, so the consensus is Joe's a creep.
All right, let's.
Can Joe go?
Let's move past naked swimming.
Yeah,
there's
please.
naked and naked. We'll talk about that later. Anyhow,
spell it the same though.
Yes, but all right. So. So Joe Biden, they don't want him in the race, but I'm going to take the word from you, Jane, that you use all the time. It's hypocrisy, right? Jane, that's one of Jane's favorites. It's one of your favorites, right? Yeah. But that being said, now you've got Joe that the Democrats are saying he's just affectionate, and he just this is what they used to do, and all this and that. Social norms have changed. And then you have, I call him Lord Fairfax, Justin Fairfax, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. You have a woman that, and I can't even get into the description. I did a little bit the other day, not to be ugly or nasty, but the woman did it in the interview, said that this man, what he did to her head, you know what I'm saying? And the Democrats just give that a pass.
Well, and the governor, too. I mean, the whole Virginia thing is like...
But I'm talking about the sexual predator thing.
The governor did the blackface thing, but the lieutenant governor has been accused by two women of...
Serious.
Rape and sexual... exactly. But it's crickets on this guy.
Don't let the governor off with just the blackface thing. It was killing a child.
Oh, we're going
understood.
I don't even mention black.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Joe Biden is not just a affectionate guy that wants to give you an Eskimo kiss
Sexual
with his nose.
predator.
Yeah, you even talk about the Eskimo stuff where he leans in and wants to do noses. Really strange.
I'm just starting to quiver. I'm going to start stamping around here. Forget the kitchen.
Forget the kitchen.
So
We're going
mad.
yeah.
Well, I understand.
Really.
I understand.
The circle world stomp.
But I want to get in trouble. I really do, because I cannot.
You never have minded that.
You're not in enough
far.
trouble already?
Okay, but I want to say this, and this is going to get me in trouble. But anyhow, I know how many people are going to understand this. You remember the woman that came out this past week that said that Joe gave her a hug just a little too long.
A beat too long.
Just a little too long. You know what that's called? That's called a deacon hug.
deacon, like a deacon in the church.
Yeah. You never had the deacon make their way through the church, hug all the ladies. You know which deacon it is.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble now. You never heard that before?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Dinkin'
Am I in
deacon.
trouble? Am I in trouble?
The Dinkin'
Yeah,
Deacon?
yeah, with a bunch of deacons.
Am I in trouble?
Could be.
Could be. It's a chance I'm always willing to take.
It's always the people in Roswell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You might get the incense burner up against the head.
I can't help it. The very minute I would this, okay, I'm going to tell it. The other day when I heard that this lady, had said that Joe Biden hugged her too long. All right. A couple years ago, there was the lady that used to work here. And we were talking, and I said, we were talking, and we were just shooting out some names and things like that. And this lady said that this certain individual gave deacon hugs. And I said, what? She said, oh, yeah, you don't know what? And it come from a lady tell me that, so I just said that, okay? Just say it.
Well, did you see the picture with Joe on the tarmac with Hillary? You talk about a deacon hug. She's like going, he's like.
Now, no disrespect to deacons out there. I know I'm in trouble. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just, whatever. I could always.
A can of worms. This is a can of worms right here. You have opened it.
You can open up worms in
I
there.
can't help it.
I
can't
know.
help it.
This is a can of whoop ass.
Moving right along. I am really working on if something inside my head says don't say it. I'm really working on holding it back. I'm working on it.
Don't do that. We don't do it. Why
Scramble
should
for
you?
a new topic.
Scramble for a new topic.
Yeah.
Are you tired of the news all the time? Release the report. Release the unredacted report. We demand the report. We subpoena the report. Are you not tired of
Speaking of
hearing
hypocrites, how about good old Jerry?
Nadler,
Nadler.
Gerard.
That was my hypocrite of the week.
Absolutely.
And
I mean-
tell the folks what you're talking about.
Sits on.
Gerard Nadler is the chair of the House Judicial Committee that has subpoenaed the unredacted. That means even the grand jury testimony. I mean, this is bad, folks. And he has subpoenaed this, and he wants the Mueller report in full. Now, tell them why he's so hypocritical.
I think
here.
he got the vote to issue a subpoena. He said he was going to hold off for a couple of days.
Okay, you're right
he's
about
showboating.
that.
Yeah, because he's
He's got
absolutely
he's got it
showboating.
Wait
ready.
for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
He's got it ready. 1998, Charlie Rose, before he was taken off the air for sexual misconduct, by the way. Just saying.
Was that deacon hugs?
Can of worms.
Did an interview with the then robust Jerry Nadler, who was totally on the other side of the fence.
Explicitly.
We cannot. Now, here's the real world. It was a different time. That was before Janet Reno came out with the new instructions, and Congress had already been given the report, in total unredacted. What he was then saying was, and his excuse is, we just didn't want all the salacious remarks that were in there and all the truth about Clinton.
But this was the special prosecutor status versus the investigative counsel status, right? That's changed.
What's changed is what they can do with the report.
Right.
The report, according to the report came out, and then Janet Reno came and said, if we do this again, if this happens again, we've got to redact all the grand jury stuff.
Right.
And,
Yeah, because Ken Starr, the whole report went right to Congress.
The point is, Jerry Nadler was totally on the other side of the fence on this one.
Explicitly and well versed.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
he explained
then
it
all of a
beautifully.
sudden he totally flips to fit his own narrative today.
Well, they did it just with the Mueller report. You remember? Give Mueller all the time he needs. If he takes another half a year, so what? As soon as it's out, they completely flip and say, "Oh, we need it now."
Well, Bob Barr, actually, they came out yesterday or this morning, one of the news networks, and somebody said, "Well, now that we know that Bob Barr is lying, so they're
Already, yeah.
now
claim
he's
that
trashed.
Barr is lying, and that's the Attorney General Barr. Now, Nadler or none of the Democrats even speak of Barr without starting saying he what? He auditioned for the job.
Oh, he
applied
says
for
that
the job,
over
right?
and over.
They all are saying
because you wrote that letter in.
Right.
Being petty.
Right. And this is who Trump wanted because he auditioned for the job. So they're trying to lay, the discontent in that, you know what, you can't believe this. This guy, you just can't connect to this because this guy applied for the job. And they're trying to lay the doubt.
They're impugning his reputation, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
and all of this being laid out, saying that we have to have that makes me nervous as a citizen for this country, that people need to realize if that is truly unredacted, there are citizens, and when are we, you get that, when are we going to get our rights back and be protected by our Constitution? And the fact that there's people that were interviewed in that report was just somebody that worked in the office at the time. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you were in his office for 8 years, we want to talk. They got nothing to do with that. But if you get a full unredacted report, you're going to have people's, American citizens' names, statements.
they're going to be throwing things at their house.
Exactly.
It's like this
just
guy,
not
the
right.
civilian contractor who's done security clearances.
Exactly.
They dragged his butt into it, and he's like, "What?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
He's not a government
100%.
employee."
It's just. I'm in fear of that. Now, we got a couple subjects other subjects I want to get to, but before we move along, there's 3 of them there. The Mueller report obviously did not clear the president, according to the deep state, because they're determined. The Mueller report is just now reason why they have to look further. Okay, that's what they're saying. We got reason why. So you got you got the House Intelligence Committee, House Intelligence, right? They want House Intelligence is going through the security clearances through the president.
That's
of the United
Elijah
States.
Cumming?
Yes, they're investigating the 25, but really Jared and Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner. They're going through the 25, security clearances that were not recommended, and Trump, they claim, overrode. So that's the Intelligence Committee.
Because of a whistleblower.
We're going to go
disgruntled.
there. The House Ways and Means Committee, that's Ways and Means, they've already done all the paperwork and sent it to the IRS for his tax returns and his business dealings.
6 years.
Yes, they want business financials also. Okay, and then you have the House Judiciary Committee, which handles impeachment. That's where it goes through, and that's Jerry Nadler, and that's what we're talking about. That want to subpoena the full Mueller report. Are the Democrats overreaching?
Absolutely.
Are they? Do you think the American people will catch on that they're overreaching?
Well,
No.
the Reds have already. Was not that we're catching on. We knew it all along.
Oh, no. We know.
Blues-
The mainstream-
We got to
The
understand.
Blues
The
are
mainstream
just
media is going to
absolutely
cheerlead
blind.
this thing, to the finish line.
You want to know my perfect world? My perfect world. Do you want to know? I don't know.
Should I know now? I mean,
Maybe later.
anticipation.
It's
is like
about the
high
Mueller thing.
Oh, go with your perfect world. Let's go.
All right, in a nutshell, my perfect world is do some investigating on cute little I'm getting bad, but the guy that flipped, that's now Trump's
Cohen?
no, the senator
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey. Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
Lindsey flipped. Lindsey was the Gang of 3 with
Right.
McCain. You need to look why he flipped. Okay? He flipped. And Mueller has committed treason. I am sure about it, and so are many other people. He was instrumental in the uranium deal.
Uranium One.
Uranium One, and he is covered for Hillary because he was head of the FBI. He was this, he was that. So my perfect world is that what they said to Lindsey was, "You're going to help us, or we're exposing you." And he flipped 100% because they are not playing footsies. So now Mueller had the choice. In my perfect world, we know what you've done. You're treasonous. If you don't play ball with us, you're dead too. So if Trump wants the Dems to keep begging for them, demand it. And when they finally send it out unredacted, it's going to incriminate all of these people that think they are sliding home free. because Mueller actually did some investigation and found the truth. And
Rush
that's
said
my
that same
perfect
thing
role.
yesterday.
Really?
Rush said that exact same thing yesterday on his show.
I'm
He said
amazed.
if
I'm
that
in
thing,
your
I
world.
did not hear
I'm
that.
in your world.
if
I
that-
went in there.
If that report comes out unredacted, he said it's going to be a total backfire.
Oh my gosh.
Total
Okay,
backfire
all
on the
right,
Dems.
let's get back into
because
James'
there's so
world a
much.
minute.
But it's
You're
not
right.
going to
So
come
much
out unredacted.
incrimination.
It's gonna come
No,
out
we
redacted.
don't-
Rick is right. Rick is right.
Right.
Let's get into Jane's world for a minute. We've always wondered why Lindsay flipped. We know. But you know, there's a lot of, like, where's the? I have watched Joe and Minka say many mornings, what happened to the Lindsey Graham that we used to know? They know there's a problem. Second, I think they're throwing so much smoke up because they're a nervous wreck. And this week on my show, I played a clip, right, Rick? And I said, Lindsey Graham said, we want to find, what'd he say? I know I get the conspiracy theory on me when I say this, but he said we needed a special counsel, a Mueller-like. Remember, he said 3 times, not Mueller, a Mueller-like, right? And then what did the president say the other night in his speech? Speaking of, he said something about Civil War. And he said, speaking of Civil War. I remember that.
Yeah, we
There was
talked about it.
I did that this week on the show because I think Lindsey's going to do it. They're going to appoint somebody, and he said Mueller-like 3 times. I thought that was interesting, and you know, it's not like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. Mueller-like 3 times. Okay, and then when the president gave that speech, and he said, speaking of Civil War, and that's when he gave a shout out to Congressman Doug Collins. Right?
Exactly.
So I think there's so much coming out and getting ready to come out. I'm with you. I'm very, very hopeful that there's some things getting ready to happen.
Let me tell you, you can, to go back to what Jane said, you can go back to a video that she and I watched, and there are 6 individuals. You connect the dots. Hillary, Comey, the IRS lady, what's her name?
Is that 11-minute
Lerner.
video?
Lois Lerner.
Is that like that 11-minute video?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that.
Did you watch that?
I watched it.
It's amazing. And then when they get to the end with Rosenstein,
And his
I
wife.
sent it to you
wife?
too.
His wife. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And,
No, I
and don't
watched that.
forget
Rosenstein.
oars. The oars.
oh yeah, the
Oh, the
yeah.
oars. And it's all for
Bruce and Nellie.
for almost 20 years.
They've all been incestuously
I'm here-
involved in
exactly.
everything.
Yes.
You know, all of a sudden one guy gets in and he brings his friends in around.
And then
for
he's
this.
head of this, and he's head of that.
Yeah.
And
This
he's
is flat
Hillary's.
out. This is flat out a coup. They're not done.
This is flat
I know.
out a
Oh,
coup.
they're not done. It's a coup.
So don't hold your breath on this all coming out like you think, because it's going to be stage managed and pushed down.
Listen, Trump is a genius. It is a chess game. I know everyone's tired of hearing that. I think they're ahead of the game, and it's going to explode. And yes, there may be uprising.
Who do you think is going to manage it?
The
Manage
Dems and the media. I mean, they're
Manage-
going to.
Okay, now if you're going to go there, folks, you just have to join us. If you're going to go there, Fox is in on it.
Is
Fox News is in on it.
Rupert's son is
What are your sources?
a
Just tell you,
liberal.
don't you think for 1 minute Fox is not
Look
in
what
on
they
it.
did to Judge Janine.
Well,
Look what they-
I don't doubt it with Fox. You know, the Murdoch kids are running now. I mean, they're both
Donna,
their wives
Brazilian.
are.
You've got a
flaming
handful of people on there. You got a handful of people on there. They need to keep you watching. You're their audience.
You know,
you
Brett-
3, and I watched it, but you're their audience. They need to keep
Who are their
you.
top 3 people that would do that?
Huh?
Who are the top 3 people that would
To
What?
do what?
You mean
What
in
you're saying Fox
management
is-
or in?
Oh, Fox is no Fox. I call them fixed news. All right.
They evade. They
I mean,
avoid
they love
many
that.
things.
Fox News.
As opposed to
They're
Fox News.
semi-fake. They just avoid issues.
They bring it to you a different way.
Yeah, but they
Okay.
avoid
Yeah.
some.
They bring it to you a different way.
Different packaging.
All right. But I don't. They are different. And in fairness, all you people out there that now like, oh my God, you know, yes, I like Tucker Carlson. Yes, I love Judge Janine when she comes on. I do like Laura.
You like Shepard Smith?
No.
Okay.
Do you like Shepard?
No, I was on a roll. Get your hands off me, woman. Damn. Keep your. Oh my God.
You're on a roll.
Come on, roll.
I'm
Roll,
sorry. I
roll.
was on a
Sorry,
roll.
sorry, roll.
No, but Fox.
Shepard
Fox
Smith.
All right,
Shepard Smith.
Fox. They can't lose. Politics is an industry. It's flat. It's not people wanting to run for office anymore because they want to represent you because of your
civic duty or any of that. It's gone.
None of that. That's gone. That's overdone, kaput. It's an industry. So Fox is not going to lose out on this Democrat race. Fox largest viewer base is independents. They have a big independent base. Mm-hmm. They're going to bring you every Democrat they could possibly bring you and put on there. So they had Schultz last night.
Did you watch it?
I watched clips this morning. I couldn't watch it last night. I watched clips this morning. I watched 4.
Was it any good? Is anything?
I don't know.
I think he's going to be very appealing to some of the independent centrists.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, he was very polished. He came off, he's got a story to tell about his childhood, growing up in the projects.
Right.
And he
has a good story.
He's got a great story.
Great story.
And they had a lot of the questions were
he's got money.
Yeah, were given by were read by employees, Starbucks employees. They talked about how they were all so happy about the health care plan that he put in, and that dovetails right into the health.
It was a town hall, right?
This was a town hall.
Any zingers?
Monitored by Martha McCallum and Brett Baer.
Any zingers?
From 6:30 to 7:30. Not really. No, I mean it was a favorite audience.
Yeah.
I mean they're
handpicked.
Yeah, I'm sure it was handpicked. The next one they're going to do is with Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie on tax day in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Bernie?
He's always like,
That's a good.
Bernie's always like making points with his hands. He's flapping like a gull. I mean, my goodness.
So, all right, let's because we're talking about Mueller and the report, and actually the flip side of that, I think we're on the edge of that ball turning, and the Democrats really messing up what they're doing right now. I think Trump is brilliant for taking the health care thing away from the Democrats. He will do. The cowardly Republicans that if I don't want to go to the subject yet, but if the Republicans in the House of Representatives will follow what he laid out last Tuesday night at the NRCC, they will win back the House. And it will be Donald Trump's House of Representatives. It's a big deal. But I want to say this because this goes with.
Will they
I know this is going to bring Jane's interest.
Will they hold the Senate? Too?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll hold the Senate.
Okay.
Senate's not vulnerable yet. Okay.
We have a whole.
But if I was to say this,
to you.
what subject would you think I want to talk about now? Let's see who can ring in first. Okay.
Ding 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 ding.
Are you ready?
Al Sharpton.
I didn't say Al Sharpton yet.
Yuck.
All I got to do is say domestic terrorist, and that's Al Sharpton.
There you go.
Let's get to the next subject. If I say shucky ducky, where are we going?
Shucky ducky.
Shucky ducky, man.
Chuck Schumer.
Shucky ducky. No.
That sounds like a Chinese dish.
Shucky Ducky.
Herman Cain. Remember when he was campaigning, he used to come out with a Shucky Ducky.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Did he audition for that position?
Herman Cain has been appointed by the President of the United States.
Nominated.
Nominated.
Appointed. You're right there. Thank you, because that appointed and nominated is big because that means he has to go through confirmation. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But Herman Cain has been nominated to the Federal Reserve Board by the President of the United States. What do you think that's all about?
Well, I'll tell you. Trump is taking on the Federal Reserve.
Absolutely.
And he's going to really revamp the whole thing, if not send it away. But I'll tell you, every single other person who's tried it is now dead and buried. And there are quite a few that we know. Brown was going to audit and tell on Clinton he's dead in a plane.
Oh, isn't Brown the one where they just didn't put quite enough fuel in that plane?
Well, they found he had a gunshot in his head. I don't know how that happened.
Didn't they forget fuel, Brown?
Plane crashed, and he had a gunshot in his head.
Yeah, and he had a gunshot. And then there was Kennedy, who made the big famous speech.
Sir, we're running out of gas.
Yeah, right.
Let me shoot
In
myself.
case he doesn't die in the wreck, we need to shoot him in the head.
I would love to do a whole segment on Brown one day, because that is so interesting. Because the world, it's like Back to the Future. Not joking around. Back to the Future. The first one. You don't alter history. But let me tell you something. That plane going down altered history, because if that plane would not have went down, Brown was ready to talk, was he not?
Oh yeah.
Things would have been different when they were.
No, that wasn't going to be allowed to happen.
All right. So back to the Federal Reserve.
Yep.
I don't.
That's
Sadly,
complicated.
all right. One, I hope Trump can complete a good takedown. I think we need to end the Federal Reserve.
Me too.
But that's deep. Okay. And but he what he's wanting to do, I don't know if he can achieve it, because I don't think they're going to get past the Senate, because they're so corrupt in the Senate. I don't know if
They're all part of the cabal.
when last night, when yesterday afternoon or wherever it was, that they announced that Herman Cain had been nominated for the board of the Federal Reserve. I wanted to see this morning, so when I got up this morning, I ran through all the networks. And exactly what I thought. The takedown of Herman Cain was right up front.
Really? Right on.
Yeah. They're talking on MSNBC. Yeah, Trump's just doing this because he's pro-Trump and he likes Trump, and Trump wants friends in there. And Trump never takes, when he nominates anybody, their qualifications into consideration. And don't forget, this guy had to leave the race over a sexual misconduct. Oh yeah, that started this morning. The takedown and him not getting through. They were
You want to see what they're all going to be worried about. You watch the line of questioning in the hearings, in the confirmation hearings. Will you, if you're placed on this board, will you make an attempt to audit the Fed? Will you make an attempt to revamp the Fed? I guarantee you, that's what they're all worried about.
Oh, they're worried about it. And if you want to really know the truth, it's going to take you a year or two. Start with the monster at Jekyll Island. That tells you the beginning of the Fed, and how Jefferson said never, ever, ever let a private entity take the country. And look at the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are kind of the. I will
say this, and Jane brought it up. How do I make it attractive to read a 500-page book? But the creature at Jekyll Isle, it's 490 pages.
Worth every page.
And it's worth every page. You will. It's an eye-opening experience to read that book. That being said, I don't want to. It bothers me that we're sitting on Capitol Hill talking about all of these things at the same time that the Homeland Security Director says that the crisis on the border is equivalent to a Cat 5 hurricane. And we are just watching it happen. The president never lied to the American people. I get tired of hearing them call him a liar. They do. The MSNBC, they talk about what a big liar he is. Before the election, he told the American people the truth, the crisis was coming. I mean, what say you? Let's just we'll call it the border, and everybody just go for it. Now, I know you sent me something that was very interesting.
You shouldn't be surprised that they're calling him a liar.
That out,
we talked about this before the election, that this was going to be at least 4 years, first term, of just trying to bring him down.
Put out fires.
We knew this was coming.
One of the head guys I watched this morning, I think it's about 5 a.m. He's going to testify before Congress. One of the head guys down there on the border is not Kirsten Nielsen, and he's in an interview and he's saying the men, they're sending messages back. They get to the border and they actually have taken the phones from these people. They have phones. It's hilarious. They have phones, and they have read the messages that are being sent back of, okay, now what you need to do, with full lists of what you need to do to try to get across the border, sending back to people.
Yeah.
And the thing that they're doing is they've read the messages where they're telling men to bring a child. Bring a child. Men are coming with
any
a
child.
Kid. Right, just bring a kid, because that's what's getting you across the border. And it's MS-13, gang members.
Cartel.
I mean, but how about this? Did we not Did the President of the United States not tell the American people this months before the election?
And he got murdered.
Right.
He's calling us all criminals and rapists.
Yeah, he's homophobic.
Oh,
he's
Right.
He's a
Mexican
racist.
phobic.
What did you read? What you sent all
right.
of us, and you sent it to me last
So,
night. Because
I don't know if they can
We're
put it
talking
up.
about crossing the border.
No, they can't.
They can't put it up?
No.
How does Bill get his things put up and I
He
don't?
sends them early.
He sends them early.
I sent it to him last week.
If you'll relax.
Yeah, right. Discrimination, somebody. Cindy, where are you? Okay, so what I thought was just, I've been looking for a list of this and didn't want to take the time to find it, and someone else did it for me. They keep saying that we don't need to change our laws, that these people are not going to hurt us, and we're being insensitive. Well, here's what happens in other countries if you cross their border illegally. Crossing the border in Canada illegally, you get a $5,000 fine. No. Yeah. Crossing the border illegally in Iran, you're 8 years in Iranian prison. How does that go?
That must be
8
fun.
years. Crossing the border illegally in North Korea, you get shot. Kaboom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Crossing the border illegally in the U.S., you get a driver's license, medical insurance, housing, and a right to vote. I mean, think about it. That is exactly right. We're the only country that does not have border security in our laws.
Yeah, they're going to give illegal.
And
just
talk
sent
about
that to you.
hypocrisy.
I just sent that to you. You get a minute if you pull it up on your email. If you could, because I want to show it a minute when I have something.
So people who say we need to
But
think about these poor people.
It's death by 1,000 water drops. I mean, it's just a steady dilution of the rules and
Right,
guidelines
right.
we have. I mean, if you have illegal immigrants getting the right to vote, I mean, it's absurd.
What I'm.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yep. Dilute the voter
Wake
pool.
up.
Yep. They could care less about the redoing the rights. All the Dems want is they want more bodies because they
And
feel
they're
like
doing that on
Yeah,
the one
that's
hand,
it.
then the other hand, they're bitching about voter suppression. Every election, it's like the mantra.
Well,
Stacey Abrams.
exactly. And she was just on Morning Joe this week, and she went up and kissed the hand, the ring of the domestic terrorist Al Sharpton.
among all the others.
And she said she's running for something. She said that's the quote. She said, "I'm running for something."
The funniest thing she said yesterday was she was describing herself. She said, "I'm an African. I may look different because of my natural hair and my sturdy build." Those were her words, not mine. I just thought to myself, my natural hair and my
Just came out of powerlifting
my
501.
sturdy build.
Okay, what I'm trying to do,
Yes.
what I'm trying to do every week, so we have a little time, minimum amount of time, because I got to get 2 more things happening today. Bruce, you got a final subject that we did not cover. I want to make sure, not winners and losers, but we want to keep it brief. But I do want everybody here to get that opportunity. If you're saying, "Hey, I didn't want to forget to talk about this or that."
Well, the Dems 2020, the pool of presidential candidates, and you mentioned before, Al Sharpton and the
Kissing the ring.
everyone going up, that he's a kingmaker. Al Sharpton. I mean, think about that in the National Action Network. Can we go there and
you
talk?
pay the bill and they promise not to protest you. That's what corporations do. They pay the bill to them, and
I mean, so
Jesse Jackson
That's
does
Jesse
the same
Jackson's
thing.
mantra.
Operation
Jesse
Push
Jackson did
spinoff then.
yes,
Exact same motives.
exactly.
Yeah.
They've gone to big companies and said, if you don't
Rainbow push.
do me, we're
That's
going to
same
boycott
thing,
you. We're
They-
gonna- Isn't that
Do
illegal?
any of there's been a couple new people that have come out. I think there was one guy who was coming out and he said he was just going to run through the debates and then quit.
Yeah, last night they said
Yeah,
and
well,
some new
who are all these
mayor or governor or something.
Who are all these people?
Okay, the Democrats are running 2020. They're going to run 2025 people for a reason.
Yeah, what is that?
And the reason they're going to run so many is because every single candidate is going to have a following. They're all going to have their own following, okay? And they're going to energize. So if you look at the candidates, when you say, well, that doesn't make sense in California, there's reason. But if you look at the candidates, Indiana is a very red state. So Pete Buttigieg is running. Even if she runs for Senate, Stacey Abrams, Georgia. Stacey Abrams, okay? If you look, where's Beto O'Rourke, Francis from Texas, okay? There's a method. There's a method. What?
Tim Ryan came out yesterday.
Yes. There's
Where
a
is
method
he?
to the Democrats'
Northeastern
madness
Ohio.
for having 25. That who is coming out from California? That crazy guy.
Kamala Harris.
No. The other one.
Steyer?
No.
The Chinese guy?
Somebody last night. Start with S-M. He will really push gun control. Okay. So you got Elizabeth Warren wanting to take down the corporations, the Michael Moore people. You got
Up in the Northeast?
right. You got Francis doing his God routine like,
Down in Texas.
and you have
Cory Booker in New Jersey.
Cory Booker in New Jersey. Well, and then again, Democrats identify. We don't identify. They identify as something. Like Cory Booker to me identifies as a gay black man, even though he hasn't come out. I don't care. A gay black man. All right, that's
He's
his
got his
identification.
girlfriend, Rosario.
Bruce, we're short on time. No girlfriends for Booker. Then you have like look at Buttigieg. Look at how many things he qualifies. I mean, I swear to God, look at these people. Every time they come out, they qualify for different things.
So you're saying they're just going for name recognition in these
And they're going to
states?
decide who they're going to pick at the
they're
end.
going to energize every part of the Democrat base.
That's pretty smart. Getting everyone
every
interested.
single part of the Democrat base. And
Soup
they're
the
not
nuts.
Bruce, please.
Bruce, we're in trouble today.
What they're going to do? No. What they're going to do is when they're done. See, this is not Hillary, Bernie. Bernie Sanders supporters did not come out and vote for Hillary, and Bernie half-heartedly backed Hillary. The nominee the Democrats have, all 25 are going to come out this time and really back this nominee, and they're going to bring their voters. Their hope is to have such a groundswell and cover everything, not leave one stone unturned. That's why you got 25, might have 30.
Then you're saying in the end they're going to consolidate all these.
hell
Whom
yeah.
do you think?
And
that
you're
would be?
also looking at cabinet members. They think they can win. You're looking at cabinet members.
Aspiring cabinet
Absolutely.
member.
Listen, that'd be.
So
That's
anyway,
why they're scared to death of
right,
Schultz,
exactly.
the independent, because because that house of cards
Okay.
falls
So
apart.
who do you think the nominee will be
Yeah.
right today?
I can't tell you.
Bernie?
No, I won't come. No, they won't let Bernie. They're not going to let Bernie.
Okay.
Bernie will slip on a banana peel while he's got his hands flailing somewhere. No, I don't think Bernie will. I don't think they'll let Bernie.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
A young progressive?
Huh?
A young progressive?
I'm surprised AOC isn't in the mix.
She's too young.
You know.
Not yet. I can't do it yet. I
Okay.
really have to do it because
I respect
I
your
really
I don't
have
know
to do
either.
that. Go
But
ahead.
a lot of people say Kamala.
The sine die happened the other day, and I think
Tuesday
what
night.
came out of this session was made Kemp a winner. There's a lot of things that are sitting there ready to go, and if you look at the bills that are ready to be signed, I think there's some significant legislation, including the heartbeat bill.
He hasn't signed 41 yet, has he?
No, the heart he will though, but the
He
heart.
will.
Oh, that's going to be a celebration. So that's getting set up. It's not just signed on. The HB 481 is not going to be signed on his desk. It's in fact, I did send the Speaker of the House a message the other day. Said, wouldn't it be nice if he signed it in North Georgia? Come on up. But HB 481, the heartbeat bill. Don't you love the way they just shut Hollywood down?
Yep.
And said, you know,
See how rude she was?
yes, they shut Hollywood
Don't interrupt
down.
me.
They
Election
voted
law,
for
voting
it.
machines, certificate of need, those are all going to pass. The budget, the health care waivers, medical marijuana, I think even that's going to probably make it.
Well, we'll see what the new governor signs, and I think he'll sign them all. And and on that note, Monday at 1 o'clock, I always do a post-legislative session interview, and Monday at 1 o'clock I will have a live interview with Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. He'll be in our studio Monday. You have a subject?
We've
Coming
got-
in the studio.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to tell you guys. Anyhow,
Hello, world.
that's out of the bag.
Yeah.
All right, winners and losers. Winners and losers.
We've
if you
gone
want
over
You
everything.
done it?
Yeah, we've
Huh?
done everything.
You done?
That I
Finished?
was.
Out?
I got a loser.
Wait,
Kim Fox.
Oh, that's out. That's Smollett. That's out there.
Is that Red
Oh
Fox's
yeah,
daughter?
Kim
Yeah.
Fox.
Is that Red Fox's daughter?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think
Granddaughter.
anything? Do you think anything will come of this movement of the?
Well, I think
police
I mean all the suburban chiefs, all the
Yeah.
city chief. I mean they're all going after.
All this work we do, and then kaboom!
I mean they're laying out. It's not only the Jussie deal. They're laying out
Yeah,
all these other
they
cases
are.
where she has. She is
Call
really.
for
Well,
resignation.
she
What's that
is
one
she
have?
is the prosecutor, state prosecutor, right?
She's a Cook County
Cook County
Cook County.
prosecutor that
Dropped the
wiped
Smollett
the
case.
slate clean. For
16
Jussie
felony
Smollett.
counts.
Huh?
16 felony counts.
I tell you what, it's pretty bad when not bad, but it's pretty bad when you got people like Tracy Morgan and Chris Rock making fun of it. So I will
the
say
banana
this in the
republic
nicest
right there.
way I know how to put it. It's not even playing in the black community. Okay, it's not playing. I'm your host BKP. Let me say something. Put that little. I don't have that there. Put that little graph up there for a minute that Jane put up. You know, folks, I want you to stop and think about this. There's only two areas, there's only two places in the world that I'm aware of, and I think I'm right on this, that don't care who come across the border. It's the EU and the United States of America. Even Mexico and Canada will not let people just come across the border. Won't let it happen. Only two places, the EU and the United States of America.
Not all of the EU. I mean, there's some dissident states in there. Hungary, for one.
Can you help me with him?
Do I get winners and losers?
Anyhow, it's a Cat 5 hurricane at the border, folks. It has to stop. Something has to happen. Now, I always support my president. Sometimes I cringe a little bit and say, "All right, Donald, I gotta see where you're going on this." Avocados made the emergency list this week, and yes, we do understand the commerce that would freeze up.
Huge.
Folks, the difference in the economic, the economic problems, or what they're calling disaster, and what the disaster is for the future of this country do not compare.
Apples
Okay?
and oranges.
We need to close the border. President of the United States kindly backed off that. President Trump, I hope
He
I'm going to
did.
stick with you on that, but I don't know where you're going. We got to do something drastic on our border to close it. Period. End of discussion. Again, Monday at 1 o'clock, pre-legislative session. I will be going through legislation this weekend, and we'll be talking to Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. If you have some questions or some House bills you would like me to look at, send that to chief@veterannews.com. I'll look at them this weekend and see what I can't get into my interview with House Speaker David Ralston. Thank you, everybody under the Gold Dome that kept your nerve to vote and get it all the way through session. The heartbeat bill 481. Thank you very much. You guys and ladies did a great job, and really excited for that bill signing ceremony with our new governor, Brian Kemp. And I guess if you haven't heard it already somewhere else, Stacey Abrams says she's running again for something. Wow.
I love that
All right.
something part.
Something. North Georgia Senior Living with Jessie Barton right after this. We got her in here, and then we've got a special little something we're going to share with you from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge to close out our show. Take a break.